and then the queen comes up, you know that it's like in the same category versus the dog. Now it becomes very interesting that queen could also be the pet. But then in that case, the numbers that represent that would be completely different, and they would be categorized somewhere else. Okay? Does that make sense? But in order to do that, you can't use 3 dimensions. You need a lot more, because now there's a lot of differences between queen and queen, the pet. Now, why are we talking about this? So we're talking about this because we're going to go through an example, first conceptually and then in real-life implementation. And I do apologize for this, but we're going to do mathematical calculations now. But we're going to do a product recommendation system. So who here has any subscription to Netflix or anything else? Who doesn't, right? Okay. So you watch a science fiction thing. Next time you log in, what is going to be recommended to you? Science fiction. More science, right? How does that work? So we're going to look at that. Obviously, that works at a much, it's much more complex. But I'm going to give you a very simple way of how to think about this. So the assumption is, this is anyone here from Singapore? Proud Singaporean? No? No one? Okay. Because that's a Singlish word, kiashu. Anyway, so let's say you have a customer, okay? So you have an e-commerce store, you have a person who purchased an apple and a banana. Okay? So far, so good. And we're going to consider 2 properties for this product. One is sweetness, the other one is going to be texture. Okay? So, apple has a sweetness, in my view, okay? So you can argue. So let's say sweetness, so sweetness goes from, say, 0 to 10, and then texture is either 1 or 2. Okay? So, apple sweetness 6, texture is 1, crunchy. Banana is sweeter than an apple. Texture is mushy, right? So it's represented as a different value. So the vector to represent an apple with sweetness and texture is 6 and 1. Banana is 7, 2. We average that, so we say that this particular person's average purchase vector is 6.5 and 1.5. Those are just literally the average of these 2 numbers. So far, so good? You're with me? Okay. Then we add new products to our database. We had the lemon, sweetness is 1, texture same as the apple, whatever, conceptual example. We also had the mango, where the sweetness is 8 and the texture is kind of mushy, so we get these 2 vectors. Without me saying anything, which product would you recommend for this particular person once they log in next? Mango, right? Why? Because the vector, just look at the vector, is closer to that average purchase. So they're more likely to like that product as opposed to the lemon.